out-of-body experience.
Welcome to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast with your host, Logan, and just Logan, because as I mentioned in the Night 1 WrestleMania preview show, we unfortunately don't have Hayed for these previews because he has suffered some voice loss. He does not have his voice right now. He can't really talk. He should be good to go for the recap shows, the Night 1 and Night 2 recap shows, but unfortunately he could not make the preview shows. So it's just me. It's just Logan for the previews. And we just recapped Night 1 yesterday, and now it's time to recap Night number 2 of WrestleMania 42. And I do have some notes that Hayde gave me for he wants me to talk about and bring to light so that he can get his opinion across, even though he can't be here physically to say them himself. So let's get into it. We hope you're going to enjoy WrestleMania just like we will. And let's get into some Night 2 predictions and some Night 2 preview. So the first two matches the first hour, I guess, is going to be on ESPN proper, local or cable ESPN for free. And they're going to open Night 2 of WrestleMania with maybe the biggest match of the night. And I don't say that lightly. It's going to be meat on meat. Big meaty men slapping meat. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi. Yeah. I mean, this is the match of all matches. And obviously, we all know where I'm going. I'm going Oba Femi all the way, because I think they should strap the rocket to this dude, give him the world title, give him the WWE title at the same time, give him the Intercontinental, give him every single title you have in the company, give him the tag team titles. He doesn't even need a partner. Give him the tag team titles, both sets, have him have every single championship. I'm not exaggerating either. I think this is actually what they should do. Give him every single championship, have him be undefeated for 17 years. He should never lose, and he should be a Hall of Famer, the greatest of all time, 20 world championships in his career, and he should also have a 3,000-day reign as champion. That's the kind of era that I think Oba Femi should be in. So, obviously, we know that I'm going to pick Oba Femi to win this match, but Hayde has also chosen Oba Femi as the winner of this match. I mean, it just makes the most sense. Oba Femi is the new guy. He's the guy right now in the company. And he's coming up against the former guy in the company. Brock Lesnar was the guy in the company for a long time. And it's time, Brock Lesnar's time is over. I think that Brock Lesnar's doing a retirement tour without saying that he's doing a retirement tour. I think this is a quiet, soft launch of a retirement tour. He's going to lose to Oba. He's going to put Oba over on the grandest stage. He's going to go away for a while, come back for that build-up to SummerSlam. And like I said last night, or yesterday in the Night 1 preview, I think he's going to come back for SummerSlam. It's in Minnesota. It's in his hometown. I think he's going to come back to officially be retired by Gunther at SummerSlam. That's my prediction. We'll see if that actually comes true. But back to Oba Femi at WrestleMania, I think that Oba is going to really, really impress in this match. And when Brock likes a guy, when Brock actually believes in a wrestler, he's going to put you over 10 times over. Like, he's going to go crazy to sell, to put you over, to make you look good. I mean, he's done this. There's proof already in what he's done in the build-up, in the different segments that he's had with Oba on the Raws leading up to WrestleMania. He told Oba to put the foot on top of him, on his chest, in that one segment. He's gone crazy, over-the-top selling when Oba's hit him with different moves. The powerbomb, the fall from grace, the clothesline out of the ring, the brawl that they had in the contract signing a couple of weeks ago where he threw the chair out. I mean, he's going insane because he knows, he probably sees that Oba is the future, and everybody sees it. Triple H even sees it. He's talked about it, how he thinks that Oba is the future. How could you not see Oba as the future? He's got the look. He's got the skill in the ring. He can go in the ring. He's a big guy, but he can go in the ring. He's got the work. He can work on the mic. He's one of the better talkers that have come up in recent memory from NXT. Other than like Trick. Trick's a great talker too. But Oba, I mean, he's got the whole package. He's got the aura. He's got the crowd behind him already. He's been up for a month or 2 months, whatever it's been, that he's been up on the main roster officially. He's got the crowd behind him. They chant, Oba, Oba. It's the Bill Goldberg all over again. It's Bill Goldberg. And he's got the aura. He's got the crowd. He's got the entrance. He's the whole package. And this win, his first singles match on the main roster, other than that exhibition with Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night's Main Event. I think this is his first official singles match. I know he's had a couple of squash matches. Maybe, is this his first official single? I don't know. I feel like I read that somewhere, but it could be wrong. Who knows? But anyway, that doesn't matter. His first real-time big pay-per-view. Maybe it's his first pay-per-view singles match. That could be what it is, other than the Saturday Night's Main Event thing. But anyway, the grandest stage, the biggest stage, I think he's gonna go over on Brock, and I don't even know if it's gonna be close. Now, Hayes' notes say that he thinks it's gonna start out as a brawl, maybe a test of strength, maybe Brock gets the upper hand on Oba, and Oba kind of is shocked a little bit because Oba's had the advantage the whole build up to this. Brock hasn't gotten a single lick of offense in on Oba in any of these segments. So Hayes thinks that there could be some sort of test of strength, maybe a little bit of a fight at the beginning, but then he thinks that Oba's going to win Goldberg style. And if you don't know what Goldberg style means, it's basically a 5-minute match where Oba gets all his big moves in and Brock goes down easy. So it's hitting with that Goldberg style is going to be crazy, but I also kind of agree with them. I would love if the match lasts 5 seconds. If Oba gets in the ring, Brock charges at him, Oba catches him, fall from grace, picks him back up, hits another fall from grace, 1, 2, 3, match is over, Oba dominates Brock. You just think about the sight in the crowd. The crowd would be in shock. I mean, they'd be cheering because obviously everybody wants Oba to win, and that's the clear, correct move is to have Oba win this match. But just think about the crowd visual. Everybody's face at first would be absolutely stunned that Oba just did this to Brock. I mean, this is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. This is something, the way that Oba would do this, squashing Brock in that fashion, would be something that Brock would do to another person. But it just shows you that Oba is that next level. He's that next step above Brock. If Pat McAfee says that Brock Lesnar is the alpha male of our species, then Oba Femi's not even of our species. He's another species entirely, and he's the alpha male of that species. So I think that it should be a 5-second squash, a couple fall from graces, 1, 2, 3, Oba Femi wins the match. That's how the match should end, in my opinion. That's how I would do it if I was booking the match, but I'm not booking the match, unfortunately. I think that'd be cool if I was, but I'm not booking the match, but I think that's how it should go. And I don't think he thinks it's going to be a 5-second match, but he thinks it could be a Goldberg-style squash type of match like that, where it's over in like 10 minutes, maybe 5, maybe 7 minutes, something quick like that. But I think it could be cool if Oba surprises everybody, wins the match in that fashion. Because just think about, I mean, obviously the crowd would go crazy, but at first they'd be stunned that it actually happened, because nobody would expect Brock to get beat that quickly and that emphatically by Oba Femi. Or at least maybe they wouldn't be shocked that it happened that way. Maybe they'd be shocked that the creative booked it that way. That's probably where they'd be more shocked that they actually had the balls to book a squash of Brock Lesnar. But like I said, if Brock likes you, he's going to do whatever you need to do to make you look good. And that would obviously send Oba to the moon. And further, it'd send him to Mars, basically. Wherever that Artemis thing, I think they went to the moon, didn't they? That Artemis 2 thing, that he'd go right with them. And Oba Femi after this, I mean, he's got to be in the world title picture. I'm only considering Oba Femi winning this match because I don't even want to think about the possibility of Brock Lesnar winning this match, because it would be the complete wrong thing to do to have Brock Lesnar win this match. Oba Femi is the only right answer here. There's no option C, there's no plan B, nothing like that. This is Oba Femi wins the match. That's it. Done. That's the end of sentence. Oba Femi wins match. Because after this, maybe you have him in a storyline with some of the main event players. Maybe he gets involved with Seth Rollins. Maybe he gets involved with Gunther. Maybe he gets involved... Gunther, Oba Femi, oh my God. Maybe he gets involved with the Vision. Maybe he gets involved with... presumably the main event Vision with Breaker and Bronson Reed back. Maybe he gets involved with... Who else is a main event player on Raw? I don't even know. Just some other main event guys, because I'm thinking we'll get to the main event in a minute, but I'm thinking you have Obafemi challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, and that's when Obafemi ascends to the top, captures the throne. I mean, he is the ruler after all, and wins the World Heavyweight Championship. But that's just me fantasy booking into the future of SummerSlam. If that's actually where they go, that'd be sick, but it's WWE, it's Triple H, it's WWE creative, who knows where they go. So both me and Hayde have Obafemi winning this match, and we both kind of think it's going to be a squash, but you never know. Next up, the other match that's going to be on ESPN proper for free is the 6-way ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, the Men's Intercontinental Championship. And Hayden's note here before I mention who's in the match, he could easily see a surprise 7th member of the match. We just got Rey Mysterio added to the match a couple of Raws ago, and Hayes thinks that there could be another guy, maybe a Rey Fenix gets added to the match. He didn't give any specifics on who he thought could get into the match, but he thinks that there could easily be another surprise entrant into this Intercontinental Championship match and add even more craziness to it. But the participants of the match are obviously Penta, who is the champion. You've got Rey Mysterio. You've got Rusev, JD McDonough. You've got Dragon. Is Dragon Lee in the match? Oh God, I'm forgetting already who's in the match. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. I'm forgetting the match real quick. I don't want to forget it. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Hold on, give me a moment. I got everybody except for I'm forgetting one person. I can't remember exactly who it is. Dragon Lee and Javon Evans, that's who. I apologize. I can't believe I forgot Javon Evans. But it is Javon Evans who's in the match. So it's Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio are the 6 competitors in the match. I apologize for forgetting that. So, and then Hayes could see another person getting added into that, which, I mean, if Rey Fenix got added to the match, that'd be pretty sick. But even anybody, that doesn't have to be Rey Fenix. That's just the first person that came to my head. But that would be pretty sick if he was added to it. But we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be, I mean, you have this pool of superstars, this pool of wrestlers in this match altogether. You've got JD McDonough, who's always going to put on a good performance selling-wise and put on maybe 1 or 2 crazy spots. Dragon Lee, obviously fantastic in the ring. Penta, we know what Penta can do. Rey Mysterio, legendary type of guy. Javon Evans, we don't even know what Javon Evans can do because he doesn't even probably know what he can do. He's so phenomenal. I've never seen a guy that is so effortless in the ring when it comes to the athletic ability. And what I mean by that is when I watch Javon Evans jump out of the ring and bounce off the ropes and do different things, the OG cutter, all that kind of, whatever he's doing that involves high-flying aerial type offense, I know this is his catchphrase, he's bouncy, it looks like he's floating. It looks like he's weightless, that he's like a feather in the air. It doesn't look like he actually has gravity when he's in the air. He's unbelievable. He's phenomenal. No disrespect to AJ Styles, not to take his catchphrase, but he is phenomenal. And Javon Evans, I could easily see winning this match. You give the young kid the Intercontinental title on the big stage. I mean, think about what that could do for his career. But I personally, Hayde has chosen Penta to retain the Intercontinental Championship in the match. That's his choice. But he also says that he wouldn't mind Javon Evans winning it. That's another thing that he had written down. He also wouldn't mind Javon Evans winning the championship, which I also wouldn't mind, like I just said. But if I had to choose a champion who's going to come out on top here, I could definitely see Penta retaining, specifically because he just got the title a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago when he beat Dom. So I don't know if they would take the title off him right away. I don't think Rusev's going to win. I think Rusev's just in the match for a little bit of brutality, a little bit of beefiness, a little meat in the match to give that monster threat. I don't think Dragon Lee's going to win, unfortunately. I do like Dragon Lee, but I don't think he's going to win. JD McDonough's not going to win. I don't think... it makes me wonder why Rey Mysterio got added. Now, there obviously was the meme. We talked about this on one of the recent episodes of the podcast. that Rey Mysterio magically got healthy the moment that Gunther had gotten a match because he didn't want to be retired by Gunther. So Rey Mysterio magically becomes healthy. Now he's involved in this ladder match. But the fact that they added him to the match makes me think that they're going to go in the direction of Rey Mysterio wins the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, and then he holds it until Dom challenges him again. And then we get Dom officially retiring Rey Mysterio in a mask versus hair, also for the Intercontinental Championship type of thing. And then Dom gets the title back, he keeps his hair, Rey gives him the mask, he retires officially, Rey goes off into the sunset. I mean, the dude's 51 years old, and he's got bionic knees at this point because he's gone down to South America or wherever he goes and gets those blood transfusion things, the blood spinning stuff, whatever it is, that gets his legs all back and healthy again, and his back and everything. So I think, I mean, it's very weird that they just added Rey Mysterio at the last second to this ladder match, which makes me think that they're going to give Rey the title, give him one last WrestleMania moment, and then that eventually, I don't know when they would do it with Dom. I don't know if they wait all the way to the summer till SummerSlam. That'd be kind of crazy, but it also would be kind of poetic because that's the same pay-per-view that they had the Custody of Dominic match all those years ago with Eddie. So maybe they want to do something like that where it's like so many years later from the Custody of Dominic match, now we have Rey retiring by Dom's hand or something like that. But maybe they do it at Backlash. I don't know. Maybe they. I just think that eventually Rey's going to win the title here at WrestleMania, and then eventually the way that he loses it is he's retired by Dominic Mysterio. I don't know if it's going to be Masters hair, especially with the Intercontinental title involved. That kind of gets a little too complicated, a little too messy because you got mask versus hair plus the Intercontinental Championship is on the line. It's just a congestion at that point. But I do think that a mask versus hair match, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, would be the perfect way to get Dom over as a big time heel. Because if you're not going to turn Dom face, which you probably should have, but it seems like they want to keep him heel. If you're not going to turn Dom face, then you might as well make him the biggest heel in the company, like he was trending towards like a year or two ago. So if you're gonna not turn him face, then have him retire the most, like probably the most favorite wrestler of all time, other than John Cena. Like if you go out in the street and you ask somebody to give you a random wrestler, they're probably gonna say John Cena. They're probably gonna say The Rock. They're probably gonna say Undertaker. They're probably going to say, maybe some would say Roman Reigns. I doubt it. There might be some depending on who you talk to. But then they're going to say Rey Mysterio. They'd probably say Rey Mysterio maybe second or third. Ahead of Undertaker, probably. Rey Mysterio is one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time. And if you retire him by his son, who everybody hates right now because he's a heel and he does heel stuff, just think about how much heat he would get if he retires Rey Mysterio. So I think Rey Mysterio is going to win the Intercontinental Championship, and then eventually it leads to Dom getting the title back by beating his dad and also retiring him at some point this year. But that's just me. So Hade has Penta winning. I have Rey Mysterio winning. We'll see where that goes. Next match, we have the United States Championship match. Sami Zayn defends against Trick Williams with I would assume Lil Yachty's going to be with Trick because Trick invited him to WrestleMania, but Lil Yachty wasn't on SmackDown, the go-home SmackDown, because he took a haluva kick the week prior by Sami Zayn. So maybe Lil Yachty's not going to be there, but I don't know. We'll see. But I thought that he was going to be with Trick. Maybe he'll be there maybe he'll be the one who helps him to the ring with the entrance or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But me and Hade both have Trick Williams winning this match. I think it's just the obvious choice. Sammy's been on this heel like teeter-totter where he's kind of a face, but the crowd has turned on him. So what I think is going to happen, and I've heard this elsewhere as well, I think even Sam said it on Not Sam on his podcast, is, and I kind of think it's the right way to do it. I think you do a double turn at WrestleMania. You have Sammy turn heel, you have Trick Williams turn face, because the crowd loves Trick Williams. I mean, how could you not? He's got the whole package. He's got the charisma. He's got the talent. He's got the swagger. He's got the talk. He's got the lemon pepper steppers. He's got everything. So I think you turn Trick face, just lean right into the crowd appreciation and right into the whoop that, and you turn Sammy heel. He becomes this dastardly, just conniving, just salt of the earth, dirty, disgusting heel that nobody likes. That's how you get, because Sammy at one point was the most loved person in the company. And how do you go from that to now he's a heel and how everybody boos him? Well, the crowd's already kind of turned on him, but you also take that and you turn him into this most unlikable, just you can't stand and you want to spit on him. That's how much you hate him. You just go, patooey. That's how you treat Sami Zayn whenever you see him. So, and it would also be a very different character from when he was a heel most recently, which was in the pandemic era when he was like that conspiracy theory guy that was super strange and he was like hanging out with Shinsuke Nakamura. Very strange. But then obviously he goes into the bloodline stuff and then becomes a face after that, and he's been a face ever since. So I think I'd love to see Sami stay as a face, because I think that I think that moment where Sammy wins the world title for the first time, I think it would be better felt if he was a face when he did it, because that moment would just be more special. And who knows if they'll ever do it. They might never pull the trigger on Sammy winning the world title. I don't think it'd be the WWE title. I think it'd be the World Heavyweight title. But I think it would just be more of like the boyhood dream finally comes true type of situation where Shawn finally got the world title. I think Sammy could bring those type of feelings if he was to win the world title, but it wouldn't hit the same if he was a heel when he did it. So if they're gonna keep him face, I think they should give him the world title to have that moment. Maybe that's how you bring the crowd back into it. You build the crowd back, you get them back behind Sammy. But if the crowd's gonna boo him and they're gonna lean into that, then you turn him full heel, you turn him into a disgusting, despicable heel, and you turn Trick face. You do a double turn as Trick wins the title. Maybe Sammy tries to hit him with the championship, and Trick turns it on him and catches him with a trick shot and wins the championship. He turns face, Sammy turns heel, and we all go our merry way. That could be something that happens. Some notes that Haight has on this match: he thinks it's going to be a great wrestling match, and Trick will star in it, which I also agree with. I think Trick's going to star in the match, because how could he not? And he also could see Carmelo Hayes getting involved. Now, I don't really agree with him on that, because SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, they did a backstage segment where they were in the medical area, and I think they're doing some sort of knee injury with Carmelo Hayes storyline. So I don't know it's obviously not a real knee injury, or maybe it is. I haven't heard anything on the rumor mill about him being actually injured. So I'm assuming it's just a storyline knee injury, but I don't see him getting involved in this. Maybe he gets involved on the SmackDown after WrestleMania. Maybe he's the one who comes out to talk to Trick because he wants the championship rematch, because Trick is technically the one that cost him the match, even though Sammy beat him. Trick got the match to begin with for him, so I could definitely see a Trick versus Melo match on SmackDown, or maybe that's the first rivalry that Trick has going into Backlash and Clash in Italy and all that kind of stuff. So I could see more of like that happening. I don't think that Melo gets involved actually at WrestleMania, but Hayden thinks it could happen. He said it could happen. He doesn't probably fully believe it, but he says he probably just wanted to get it out there in case it did happen, so he would look smart if it actually did come true. So getting into our next match, we've got Jade Cargill defending the Women's WWE Championship against Rhea Bloody Ripley. Where do we go from here? This has probably been the most underwhelming build to WrestleMania. No disrespect to either of the women. It's just, it hasn't had the same kind of sauce that all the other matches had, which is saying something, because Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer were given less. Even though Liv won the Royal Rumble, they were, in a lot of people's eyes, they were given less to work with, and they made it into something special that actually has a lot of heat generated. And I'm not saying that Rhea and Jade doesn't have a lot of heat generated with it. It just doesn't feel the same. It kind of feels a little bit more, I don't know, like, not stale, but it just feels kind of hollow, maybe is a better word for it. There's not really a lot of substance to this rivalry. You've got Michin and B-Fab that joined Jade Cargill, turned heel and joined Jade Cargill. So I guess that does add a little bit more to it, but it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel, and it's not either woman's fault. Like, Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley aren't doing a bad job. I'm not saying that. I'm not as fully connected with it. And that's crazy, because I drafted Rhea Ripley in the fantasy draft. So I want Rhea Ripley to win. I should be invested in this, and I love Rhea Ripley. I don't know. It just feels weird. It doesn't feel like a WrestleMania build. Basically, is what I'm trying to get at, I guess. So Hayde has Jade Cargill winning the match because he has Jade drafted on his fantasy team. I have Rhea Ripley, so I choose Rhea Ripley, obviously, as my winner of this match. And I do think that Rhea is going to win. It makes a lot of sense. Jade's had the title for a decent amount of time now. She's had a decent run with the title. But I feel like she's run her course of this first run that she's had with it. Maybe down the line she'll get a little bit more chances with it, defend it more, have better significant rivalries with it, all that kind of stuff. But Rhea Ripley hasn't been a world champion for a while, since last year's WrestleMania, I think, right? Did she come in? No, she lost. She was a world heavyweight champion, the Raw on Netflix, the debut on Netflix. She lost it either that night or soon after. She lost it to Io, and then Io was the champion going into WrestleMania. That's what it was. So Rhea hasn't been a champion for a while, and it just makes sense. You give Rhea the women's championship, something she hasn't had, at least this version of it, and you let Jade maybe take some time off, go back to that dude BP, Brandon Phillips, and spend some time with him, and rest and recover, and then maybe Rhea defends it against B-Fab and Michin as her first little rivalries. But I think ultimately you build it to SummerSlam. You have Io, Rhea, one-on-one for the WWE Women's Championship, and you have Rhea finally get that win over Io Sky. That has been a big point of contention, of a big topic, basically. Every time Rhea and Io have faced off against each other, it's always mentioned that Rhea has never beaten Io Sky one-on-one. And I think you give her this moment at SummerSlam in Minnesota. Rhea defends the WWE Championship against Io Sky, and she finally beats Io. She gets that moment. She finally gets Io. And they are friends, so it would be a respectable... I don't think you have to have Io turn on Rhea at any point. Unless you want to go with an Io Sky turns on Rhea and rejoins Asuka and Kairi. That could be something. I could definitely see something like that happen. I doubt it, because, I mean, Io is beloved by the fans. I don't know why you would want to get rid of that, ruin that good faith with the fans to turn her heel. But it could be an interesting storyline if Rhea feels heartbroken that her best friend, her lover, turns her back on her, betrays her, stabs her in the back to join Asuka, who has been verbally abusive to Kairi for months now. But then I could also see Kairi turning face and turning on Asuka. I could definitely see that happening as well. But mainly, without getting too complicated, I think that SummerSlam is Rhea Ripley defending the WWE Women's Championship against Io Sky, and she finally gets over on her, finally gets the win that she's trying to get for years now, and it's an amicable match. Like they're not, neither of them are heels. They're both babyface. They go into the match respectable, and it's just a great wrestling match. That's all it is. And Rhea finally gets that win. That's what I think is going to happen. Some notes for Hayde on this match that he has. He definitely could see that B-Fab and Michin come out and get involved. I definitely could see that as well. And then he thinks that Io could come out and get involved, which I also could see, because Io's not on the card officially. There was like rumors that she was going to get a match with Asuka, but they didn't end up putting that on the card. So I definitely think Io could get involved in this. Maybe she's the one who comes out to stop B-Fab and Michin from getting involved, and then she like evens the odds, evens the playing field, and it becomes another one-on-one match. And then he thinks that it could be a match that surprises a lot of people. Like it could be an underrated banger, is basically what Hayde's saying on this one. And then he's going to go with the upset. Obviously, Jade, I mean, even though she's a champion, it would be an upset for her to beat Rhea. And then he also notes here that maybe we get an Io turn, but it's unlikely. Is that what he says? Going with the upset, maybe on Io... maybe an Io. Okay, I read it wrong. Maybe an Io turn, but it's unlikely, is what he's saying basically here. Is kind of what I mentioned with the Asuka thing, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Io is too loved by the crowd to turn her heel right now, so he thinks it's unlikely, but I definitely could see where he's coming from there with Io turning, but I don't think that's going to happen either. So he has Jade Cargill winning because he has her drafted in the fantasy team, and I have Rhea, so I choose Rhea. Next match on the card is the Demon Finn Balor going up against Dominic Mysterio. And if you're a longtime viewer of this podcast, you know I'm a big Dominic Mysterio guy. I'm also a big Finn Balor guy, but I'm a huge Dominic Mysterio fan. I love Dom. And I'm going to choose Dom to win. Well, I'm not going to choose Dom to win, actually. I'm going to choose Finn Balor because I'm smart and I know I can see the writing on the wall that they're going to have Finn Balor win this match. Even though I would love Dom to win. In my heart, I want Dom to win. In my heart, I choose Dom. But actually, officially, I choose Finn Balor. And so does Hayde. Hayde has Finn Balor winning. And one gripe that I have about this, it's a little thing. It's not like anything big. It's just, I wish they wouldn't have announced the Demon. I wish that we would have gotten to WrestleMania with it just being billed as Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, and then Dom makes his entrance, whatever entrance he's going to have, and then all of a sudden we hear that heartbeat, like we get a pause, the crowd comes to a hush, waiting for Finn Balor to come out, and we get that heartbeat, and it's just bum bum, bum bum, and the camera pans to Dom, and his face drops, and he's shocked, and then all of a sudden, the red smoke comes out, and we get the Demon. Just think about how much the crowd would pop for that, how much the crowd would go absolutely nuclear if they didn't previously know that the Demon was going to come out, and then he shows up as the Demon, because all we knew at that point, before it's been announced officially that it's going to be the Demon, we thought the Demon was dead. We thought the Demon was retired, because Finn had said that he doesn't want to be the Demon if they're not going to book it right. So we never thought, I mean, we didn't give credit to the creative team at all. We didn't think the Demon was ever coming back, but they brought it back now. We know that. But I think it would have been more of a moment. And that's what WWE is. WWE's moments. It would have been more of a moment if they would have announced it as Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, just regular Finn Balor, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, instead of Finn Balor's normal entrance, it's the Demon entrance and everything. I think that would have been phenomenal. But unfortunately, that's not what they did. They announced it, so we do know it's going to be Demon Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, which is still going to be cool to see the Demon out there. I just think it would have been better if we didn't know. And then all of a sudden it's there. So Hayden's notes for this, he thinks it's going to be a fun match, competitive, but the Demon's going to destroy Dom, which I also agree with. I go with Dom, or I go with Finn. Hayden goes with Finn, and I mean, you're bringing the Demon back for a reason. Like I just said, we thought the Demon was dead because of how creative had utilized it in the past and had screwed it up and kind of ruined the aura of the Demon. But if you're bringing it back, you have it brought back for a purpose. You're not going to bring it back to have it lose to Dominic Mysterio, which, no disrespect to Dom, we all know I love Dom, but I'm not thinking that losing another match to Dominic Mysterio as the Demon is going to do anything for the Demon's aura. So if you have Demon Finn Balor come back, you have it for a purpose. You have him come back and not squash Dom, but have him win in a very dominant fashion where it makes the Demon obviously look really good, and people are thinking, oh, the Demon's back. I can't wait to see the next appearance of the Demon Finn Balor. But you also make it so that Dom still looks good. Obviously, you don't want him to be completely squashed and screwed, considering where he was last year at WrestleMania. But I definitely think it's going to be a dominant match for the Demon, and I think Demon is going to win it. Some other notes: Hayden has Roxanne and Liv could get involved, and I could see that. I definitely could see Roxanne get involved for sure. Maybe not Liv, because I guess it depends on if she's won the world title or not by this point from night one. Because if she loses, I don't know if she comes out, but if she wins, there's probably a better chance that she could come out to help Dom. But I definitely see Roxanne coming out, because I think, and Hayden has this too, he has a possible Roxanne turn on Liv and turn on Dom, obviously, and joins Finn, because there was that whole segment, which I mentioned in the Liv Stephanie build-up, where Liv and Roxanne were backstage talking, but right before Stephanie knocks heads with them and gets that big bruise on their heads. But Liv, before that, was asking Roxanne if she was in on the Judgment Day or she was loyal to Finn, because Finn was the one who brought her into the Judgment Day back when she first came up to the main roster. So I think it could be really interesting if Roxanne eventually turns at WrestleMania on Liv and on Dom and on the Judgment Day and joins Finn, goes full face, and maybe helps Finn win or is just in Finn's corner when Finn wins. I think that could be really cool. Maybe it doesn't happen. It's just a possibility, but I think that could be a really cool turn if that is what happens. But now we get to the main event. And this main event has been talked about for months now. CM Punk defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. And we all know that I'm a Roman Reigns guy. Roman Reigns through and through. Throw up the ones for the OTC, my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He comes into WrestleMania for the first time in a long time with nobody and no pomp and no circumstance. Now, I know last year he didn't have Heyman because Heyman fulfilled the promise to Punk and came out with Punk, but it was still, Roman was still kind of involved in all that kind of stuff, and it wasn't the same as this year. This year, Roman's completely by himself. He's got no connection to Heyman anymore. He's got no connection to nothing. He's just 100% clean, all by himself, and it's just one-on-one, a straight fight with CM Punk. There's no Paul Heyman to get in the way. There's no Seth Rollins. There's nothing. It's just one-on-one, Roman and Punk, and I'm going to choose Roman Reigns to win. Now, Hade's going to choose Roman Reigns to win as well because he has Roman Reigns drafted, and obviously he wants those World Championship points in the fantasy draft. But I'm going to choose Roman Reigns because it just makes the most sense. Having CM Punk win would be cool because I like Punk, and I think seeing him wrestle other guys for the world title could be really sick. But this is all coming together at SummerSlam. And I know I'm building all the way to SummerSlam for a lot of these, but that's just the next big pay-per-view that happens. It's the next of the big three. And I believe that we go, and I kind of hinted at this earlier when I was talking about Oba Brock. I believe that we are getting Roman Reigns, Oba Femi for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, and Roman puts Oba over. I think that's where we go. I think that's the best option for both guys, because Roman doesn't need the world title longer than what it would take to build. Maybe he has one match in between to defend it on like Clash in Italy or something, or whatever is in between, whatever pay-per-views they have in between. Backlash, obviously, I don't think he'd defend it at Backlash, but maybe he has one title defense, maybe a rematch against Punk, or he fights some guy. I don't know. Pick your guy on Raw, whoever it is. Or maybe he doesn't defend it at all, and we just have Roman hold it for 6 months until we get to late July or early August or whenever they do it, maybe sometime in August probably, and we get Oba Femi, Roman Reigns, World Heavyweight Championship, and Oba, after beating Brock at WrestleMania in hopefully dominant fashion, finally claims his top spot where he always should have been, the ruler, claims his throne and dethrones the former ruler, Roman Reigns, and wins the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that would be the great crowning achievement moment. Yeah, it's not the WWE Championship, which I think Oba would hopefully get in the future, but this would be a great first-time championship for Oba. I mean, beating Brock and Roman in the same year would do wonders for Oba Femi's career and for his aura and for his standing in the company as one of the top guys. And so I think that it all builds up to that, and you can't do that. Yeah, beating Punk would be cool, but I don't know if Punk even makes it to SummerSlam if he beats Roman. I think Roman beats Punk here, and so does Hade. Some of his notes on this match, he thinks that it's going to be an emotional match, the most emotional match on the card. It's going to be a great match, he thinks, and I agree with him. I think it is going to be a great match. Roman ends up overcoming Punk and then shakes his hand afterwards. I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore, considering the way that Roman's been talking in the most immediate promos he's done. He cut a promo in the car on his way to someplace in Vegas that I just saw recently, and he was completely like saying he was going to kill CM Punk and he was going to bury him and he was going to do all this kind of stuff, and he was a joker and a jabroni and all that kind of whatever he was saying. But I feel like they've kind of lost their respect for each other after a very interesting and strange promo they had on Raw where Punk basically apologized for everything they said. He apologized for saying that he was going to bury him next to his his actually legitimate real-life dead father, Sika. And Punk, he apologized for everything and said that he hates himself for being jealous of Roman. And Roman said the same thing. He hates that he's jealous of Punk for Punk's connection with the fans and everything. And it was kind of like a weird final promo after having it be so emotional and so personal the few weeks leading up to that. I just thought it was kind of a strange way to end things before WrestleMania, but that's kind of where they left it. And then Hayde thinks that there could be a handshake afterwards. And I think that could happen. I think it's less likely now that Roman cut that promo in his SUV or whatever it was. It might not be what happens, but I definitely think Roman's going to go over on Punk. He's going to win the world title. Punk's had it for a while now. Punk's had it since Rollins had to relinquish it, right? He beat, who did he beat? Did he beat AJ for it? I forget who he beat for the title. But Punk's had it for a while now. And so I think it's time for Punk to put it on somebody else. And yeah, Roman's probably not going to be around much as the world champion, but he was never really around that much when he was WWE champion. So I think that Roman wins the world championship. And then we get Roman Oba at SummerSlam. Oba goes over on Roman, and we go from there. So I do think it's going to be a good match, though. Roman and Punk is going to be a pretty solid match. And it probably goes about 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And we get a pretty good banger, and Roman ends up winning. A couple final things here before we wrap up this Night 2 preview is Hayde has a couple of notes here about a possible surprise match getting added for comedy. A comedic effect type of match. And basically he thinks that it could be like a Danhausen, R-Truth, Damian Priest 6-man tag where we get them versus Kit Wilson, The Miz, and he throws in Kofi Kingston because Kofi's kind of had a little bit of back and forth with Danhausen a little bit. So he thinks that there could be a surprise match. Maybe that's what John Cena does. Maybe John Cena and Danhausen have a conversation. R-Truth comes up because R-Truth and Danhausen have had a moment together. And maybe they, in their weird way, all three of those guys on the screen together somehow talk themselves into a triple or a 6-man tag match where it's Danhausen, Truth, and Priest versus Kit Wilson, Miz, because Kit Wilson and Miz have had their problems with Danhausen, obviously. Danhausen cursed both of them. And so maybe we get, in some roundabout way, we get Danhausen, Truth, and Priest versus Wilson, Kofi, and The Miz. But he thinks it could be a surprise match. But Hayden's always, he's been on WWE's case because they have so many pay-per-views where they don't have a lot of matches. They have like 4 matches, 3 matches, sometimes 5 matches. They don't go crazy with their pay-per-view matches, their amount of match on the card. Now, it's WrestleMania, so there's a lot of matches on the card each night, but he would like to see a surprise match. He thinks it could happen. He also has down here that there could be a major segment like a WrestleMania 30-esque where we had Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and The Rock all show up for a promo in the ring at the same time. So he thinks there could be something like that again, maybe Cena, Stone Cold, and The Rock, because he did mention The Rock could come back for the Cody Cena thing. So maybe we have a Cena, Stone Cold, and Rock segment either backstage or in the ring. What if Cena's the one that's announcing the attendance like they always do? They always announce the WrestleMania attendance. So what if Cena's the one doing that, and then all of a sudden you hear the glass shatter, and Stone Cold comes down, and then all of a sudden you hear the, if you smell, and The Rock comes down. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. I would absolutely love that. But he thinks there could be some sort of major segment between those 3, WrestleMania 30-esque. And I could agree with him. I definitely could see that happening. But that is going to do it for our WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 previews. We hope you enjoyed, even though it was just me listening to my sultry tones for breaking down the WrestleMania cards. We will be back, and Hayde will be back for the WrestleMania post-shows, the recaps of what happened each night. So look out for that. And again, thank you so much for stopping by and listening to the Brothers Wrestling Podcast. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.